they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko.
We're not tested. Welcome to Graybo's Giblets, part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Network. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets to handicap these games yourself. We do that for you and bring you our picks each week so you can come have some confidence heading into the weekend or walking up to the window. We're out here dropping giblets. We might drop a few driblets about sports cards while we are here. I'm your host, Graybo, joined always by Fitz and Denny one time to talk about the RBC Heritage. But before we do that, we got to recap the Masters, talk about our bets, talk about Scottie Scheffler's pretty freaking good at golf. Fitz, how you doing, man? How was your Masters weekend? Did you do well with your bets?
Meredith let down America. No, this was actually a good Masters. Had the outright 75-1 ticket on Homa, which was a nice sweat until about the turn on Sunday. But by that point, I had already come to the realization that Scottie was going to win that thing. So went ahead and hedged out of it. Got all that back and did really well on my my placements, my finishing positions, my matchups. Usually I'm a heavy outright better, but the Masters I always have to go a little extra, and it actually worked out for once.
Look at you getting some money back. You actually bet Scottie. I love it.
Yeah.
When Scottie went down, what? I think he was 4 under, and the leaders were at 6, and he was still the favorite. Because we talked about, man, we should just get him live, and then you just can't ever, even if he's down 3 or 4 strokes.
Yeah, I was betting him like plus 150 Sunday morning, and then when I knew I was coming over to watch with you guys, and I knew you guys were both going to be on Scottie, I didn't want to be that guy, so I wanted to be a good guest.
You had to be. It was my grandma's 90th birthday, so if you're coming over, you had to be a good guest.
And Maggie, big Ludwig backer, I believe.
Yeah, huge.
Yep. So she was on tilt all day.
She corrected me 3 times. Aberg, and she corrected me and called it Oberg 3 times in a row.
Just a huge golf fan. Denny, how was your weekend? We had the family over. You had about 80 people in your house. You knew a lot of the kids' names running around. So, how was your Masters weekend? How were your bets?
Yeah, I could name 34 of the 42 people in my house. So it was a good time. Had a blast. The golf was awesome to watch. It was fun. We had 4 guys tied, but like 9 holes ago, and then less climatic. But I was happy for Scottie because I bet him. I had him in DraftKings lineup, so I took him in 2 of my 3 one-and-dones. I took Xander in the other, just to be clear. Go back and listen to the podcast. I said Xander would be in 6th coming around the bend. He started Sunday in 6th. After 17 holes, he was in 6th. Then he bogeyed 18 to come in 8th. So for my one-and-dones, I got a first, and an 8th. So I'm tickled pink.
Yeah, you had a pretty good week betting Scottie heavy. Fitz had a good week with matchups. For me, it was a fun week. I thought I would win some more, like DraftKings wise. If you go back and listen, I was pretty spot on. I was heavy on Scheffler. I had I talked about Homa being a big sleeper. I had Taylor Moore and Shank as my 2 long shots. I just did not have the right combinations. Like, just imagine if I just put Shank and Moore together. I never had them together. I always had them separate. And then if I would have had Homa and Scheffler in a lot of lineups together, I would have been a millionaire. Those 4 plus, I would have had 2 other. I got some money through DraftKings, but not enough to, have a profitable week. But it was still a fun sweat. I love Scottie. I'm glad he won. I'm glad he showed up to live guys. But like you said, it was tied going in the back 9, and then all of a sudden, snap your fingers, and boom, Scottie won by freaking 4. So It was crazy. Scottie's a beast. And I can't believe I'm seeing him this week at RBC Heritage. I thought his wife's about to have a baby. So I'm actually going to be talking about full fade Scottie this week with his price in DraftKings. Probably not going to work out for me, but we'll see. So today we're going to break down everything you need to know about Harbor Town and the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head, South Carolina. One of my bucket list courses to go play. We're going to give you some daily fantasy lineups here and go talk about one and done and how we did last week. Denny hitting that first place with Scottie. We'll see how far he climbed up in the standings. And obviously we're going to have some outright bets. Denny hit his outright bet with Scottie. Fitz seemed like he climbed on Scottie live. I did not hit Scottie outright, but I was rooting for him. So, course update. Harbor Town is the opposite of Augusta. Usually after the Masters, it's kind of a down week. You know, you don't get a lot of golfers playing the next week, but we got a top-tier event, Harbor Town. 70 golfers, no cut. You have all the big boys coming back to play this week, so it should be fun. This is, like I said, the complete opposite of Augusta. Instead of open fairways and you want to hit the ball far, it doesn't really matter where it goes because you have wide fairways. The rough's not a big factor in Augusta. Harbor Town, very narrow and very short compared to Augusta. Accuracy over distance this week, so it's going to be interesting who we take this week. It's a par 71, short 7,200 yards, but every hole has water. You can get in a lot of trouble. We got Bermuda with some POA on the greens, fellas. Putting is going to be a huge issue this week. So what to look for? My 4 keys are accuracy off the tee over distance, strokes gained approach is huge, strokes gained putting is huge, and good driving percentage. Who can frickin' find the fairway? You don't have to be long. Just find the fairway, because if you don't, you're going to be hurting. So, let's get into it. DFS, let's talk about some guys here. But before that, get 10% off any purchase at graybos.co by using the promo code STRATEGY2023. So, the chalk, 9,000 and above. If you looked where Scottie is, he's over 13K. Good Lord. Are we going to Scottie this week? And that's probably about where he should be. Are we going to Scottie this week? Or are we fading after the green jacket? His wife's about to have a baby. It was, and we talked about that last week like it was a problem. So this week it definitely has to be a problem. Denny, what are you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm fading Scottie. After winning the Masters and wife about to have a baby, I don't see how you play him. I mean, if you play him and he comes in 11th or 7th, you lose. So at that price, he's got to win. Last week we played him, he had to win, he did. So I don't see how you win after the week after the Masters. I just, especially with your wife, do. So no, I'm not going to play him. I am going to play Xander. At 10,800. As I mentioned last week, he had a strong showing. He came in 4th in this event last year. He's, according to the odds, he's the second best player in the tournament. And his price is way cheaper than Scottie. So loading up on X-Man.
All right. I like that. Yeah, another good showing for Xander. He's just consistent. He needs to get that big win, though. He needs to get that first major. This is kind of like playing like a major. You got 70 guys, 70 of the best golfers. Tough course. This would be a good tournament for him to win. Fitz, who you taking here? See, you're going with a little course history.
Yeah, well, let's preface by why would anybody listen to me in this segment? These are some of the picks I gave you last week. John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Adam Hadwin. Just atrocious. So with that said, let's go with the guy who's going to be very chalky, Patrick Cantlay at 10,200. He seems the top 5 this event almost every year. He showed a little glimpse there at the Masters. He didn't finish how he wanted to, but he was kind of in contention. What felt like there on Friday, Saturday, can't remember. when he kind of started fading away. But I'll go with him, and I'll go with the guy who was in contention almost all weekend, and that's Max Homa at 9,700. I don't think he'll be flustered at all from kind of his performance there at the Masters. I think that was just truly Scottie being better than everyone. He didn't really blow it. He could have made obviously a couple more putts on that front nine to make it a little bit more pressure on him. But yeah, I like Homa bouncing back with a strong showing.
I like it. Yeah, you said you didn't really make a mistake. Saturday he fought through it and was all pars. He didn't have
That
like
bounce, man, that bounce. What hole was that? When he hit it like a couple yards long, and it just bounced right into the thick bushes, and he had to take the unplayable.
the 12. Yeah.
It's just
So yeah, like you said, there was actually 3 big mistakes: Ludwig and Morikawa going in the water on 11, and then Homa on 12 going into the bush. And after that, Scheffler just poured it on, and those guys had to come back. So yeah, 3 big mistakes. Homa's playing great. I like him a lot. I don't know if I'm going to use him this week. He did. He's only 1 for 2 here. He finished like almost dead last year. But I'm always about current form coming in. So he's in great form, obviously with the 3rd place finish.
we're not riding.
I'm not gonna play him this week in DraftKings, but I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, you can't play all these guys, so I'm not gonna ride Homa this week. Cantlay, I could definitely see that. It was between him and the guy I'm gonna play, but if you look at Cantlay, in the last 4 times he's been here, he's coming 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, and a missed cut, but who knows what. Anyone can miss a cut, but 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd. That's crazy. So for his price, if he can do that, you take it. For me, I'm going with 2 guys that had great form last week. One, really good form, kind of struggled on Sunday though, but this is his course. He loves it here, and that's Fitzpatrick. He says this is his favorite course every year. He brings his parents here on vacation. This is where him and his brother played a lot growing up. So Fitzmagic is what I like to call him. Won here last year, came in 4th the year before that, but he's just really good here. And then I think he finished 26 at Augusta, but he was in the top 10 until Sunday. Kind of fell off. I really needed him for DraftKings on Sunday. Him and Finau really killed me. I could have cashed some really good lineups, but
What
I
was
think
the nickname? What was the nickname that Tripp gave Matt Fitzpatrick?
Fitz something like that. We'll have Tripp on here
Look at that.
again, and we'll cut that. But I call him Fitzmagic. It's more appropriate. The other guy was trying to get his 3rd major last week, and that's Morikawa. Made a big mistake on 11, and that kind of, I think, crushed him because he was also playing with Scottie, and Scottie was making everything. But Morikawa, you talk about accuracy off the tee. You talk about great iron play. You don't have to be long here. The only thing I worry about is, can he make those putts to finish? But I like Morikawa to pivot off Cantlay. He's made the cut here all 4 times. His best finish is 7th, but I like to ride good form, and I think he might be in contention to be my one and done pick. I don't think he's going to be that popular because Cantlay's there, so it's a good pivot for me. So that's what I'm going to do. Fading Scottie. I think Duke said it best. You need him to win at that price, and I just think, I think he gets 10th. Yeah, but that's like not good for him. So, and who knows? Meredith, is she going to pop? Who knows? Let's go to the value picks.
He's going to win or he's going to
The,
withdraw.
Yeah, right. That's what we're banking on, right? Just withdraw.
Yeah.
I don't like. Does he have like anxiety that his wife's due in a week?
No, he doesn't feel human
Like,
emotion.
He doesn't seem to care in the world.
That's crazy. All right, value picks. Denny, who we like this week?
Well, before I do my value picks, I would like to say, like, I'm a pretty strong opponent of playing anybody who won last week or at the Masters or who was in contention and had a disappointing second nine on Sunday. That's why I'm going to fade it. Oberg. I'm going to fade Homa. I'm going to fade Morikawa. Really anybody who had a disappointing Sunday. 'Cause I think it's such an emotional roller coaster to think you're in contention of the Masters and then to fall off. On the flip side of that, somebody who had a decent Sunday and finished 25th, 20th, 15th, 10th even, but never thought they were going to win, never went through that emotional roller coaster. They basically just left the week with confidence. And that's why I'm going to take Taylor Moore at 7,400. This dude has been one of the best players in the world last year and some change, consistent, played well last week, which had to give him confidence. And he's only 7,400. Came in 11th in this tournament last year. To me, that's like the steal of the century. I think he's team Jammerman this week.
Love it. You'll see I'll be very similar with that. Fitz, who you going with?
Siwoo shaking that ass. 8,000. He snuck in the cut last week because of, we didn't even talk about this, Justin Thomas being even through 13 on Friday, and the cut was +6, and he missed the cut. He was even through 14 and missed the cut. Siwoo benefited from that. He finished strong. He finished with a top 30. I like him. He doesn't have great course history here, but I kind of think he sets up nicely with just the way he plays. And you talked about accuracy, and it's really about putting the ball in the right spot on the fairway. You know, they're not, I guess they are kind of narrow, but like those trees are just kind of all in the way. So you just got to make sure you get it there. And I think Siwoo can check that box. I'm also going to go with a guy who plays here really well, Brian Harmon. He missed the cut. He's got plenty of rest. $7,800. He has a couple top 10s here, a couple top 20s or top 30s. So give me the little man.
I like it. I think Brian Harmon does bounce back very well here. Great price for him too. So like the Brian Harmon. I don't know how I feel about Siwoo, but hey, got a feeling. Go with him. I'm all about Taylor Moore this week. I'm locking him in on a lot of DraftKings lineups. Like Denny said, great Sunday at Augusta. Great course history here. I think Denny said, 11 played here last year, finished 11th, was 17th last week at Augusta. Someone who's playing some strong golf, getting consideration for the President's Cup. I think he's a really good play at 7,400. He's going to be my best bet of the week, too. So I'm all about Taylor Moore this week. And someone at the same price as him, coming off a good week out of nowhere, Cam Davis, the Australian, finished. Where is it? He finished. I think he was under par last week. I don't know where he was, but I know he played. I know he played very well last week. What was it?
12th. He finished 12th.
Thank you. All right, finished 12th. And then here at the Heritage, he's last year was 7th. The year before that was 3rd. So he's very good here. Puts the ball in play. Good with the irons. He is long, but he can take driver out of it. You got to take driver out of your hand sometimes. And very good with his woods and hybrids as well. So I like Cam Davis, and he also has to get some points because he's kind of out of the President's Cup right now. He's kind of looking in, and I know he wants to play on the President's Cup international team once again. So I really like Cam Davis and Taylor Moore for the same price. So you can play both those guys in the same lineup and then go up top and get some of these bigger names, and you're looking pretty good with those lineups. So let's go to the long shots. Denny, sub 7K, under 7K. If you're going to play Xander and some other big names, who are you going to mine out here?
Yeah, I think there's some folks to really consider really under 7,500 and even under 7,000. Guys that have been playing well early this year. Some younger guys that people don't maybe don't know their name, but maybe should because they've either won a tournament already this year or come close. So, like before I say that, I would say you got to consider Grillo. He's been one of the best guys here the last 3 years at any price, but I think I'm going to fade him just because of recent form isn't as strong. But I think you should consider him. I mean, he's had two really good finishes here in the last 3 years. But I am going to look at Malnati, Mr. Buckethead himself, at 6,300.
Body.
I wouldn't play
Body
somebody a
Mel.
week after their first win, but a couple weeks after, had some time to cool off, but are probably still stroking it well. Pause. And got a newfound confidence, think they can play with anybody. And it's 6,300 is really cheap. So he's the guy I'm going to target the most under 7K.
The Body Malnati. All right. Fitz, who are your two guys?
I'm going to go with Jake Knapp, 6,500. Obviously, been playing really good golf this year. 10 events, 8 made cuts, 3 top 10s, a win. I think this course sets up nice for his game. And I'll let you talk about my second pick at 6,800, Gray.
Yeah, so I actually was going to put Knapp on here as well. We're going to have the two same guys. I took Knapp off. I just feel like his first time here, he struggles a little. Like if there's anything that he struggles with, it is the driver. So first time here could be hard for him, but I'll sprinkle him in. But my favorite that I'm going to have a lot is who you had as well, is Lucas Glover at 6,800. If you look at his odds, it's 50-1. That's better than some of the guys in the mid 7Ks. It's better than Sung Jae. So the bookmakers like Lucas Glover, and for 6,800, 51 odds, you want to take a stab at Lucas Glover. He's someone that just grinds it out. Last week, I think his matchup was against Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed was up like four strokes on Sunday, and then Glover turned it on the back nine and won. And I was on the opposite end of that for my matchup, so I was kind of pissed. But that kind of tells you what Lucas Glover can do. He's never out of it, and when he's striking the ball well, he's going to make some birdies because he can also putt very well. Now, he did miss the cut here last year, not very good, but before that made the cut 3 straight times. And his current form is really, really good. So I like Lucas Glover at that price. I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of Lucas Glover this week. So I'm on the same boat as Fitz here. I will never play Grillo ever, even though he does have some good history here. But I think so. Who mentioned playing him last week? Was it Booth? Because
Yeah.
he came in last place. He came in dead last. So, told you. All right. Save 20% after a free 14-day trial. Visit themarketmoversapp.com and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON. Let's get into our one and done. Congratulations, Denny, getting the Scottie Scheffler win. Let's go to the one and done standings presented by Ryan Fitz.
Yes. Let's look at last week's real quick. I was in 51st. I took Brooks Koepka.
Right?
Yeah.
Me and you took Koepka.
Yeah, I dropped 20 spots to 71st. Gray was in 29th with Koepka, or was in 22nd. I was in 29th. And old Dookie, 111th. Scottie Scheffler takes him all the way up to 65th.
Well, good movement. Good move. Passing Fitz. Good movement.
So I'm trailing here. So I'm going to go with Brooks was the chalk last week. I'm going to go with the chalk again this week. Patrick Cantlay, I think he'll probably be the highest owned and one and done this week.
Yeah, people looking at course history definitely should be the highest owned. I'm going to go with a guy as well that's going to be pretty chalky, but I just think this is the time to use them, and that's Fitzmagic or Fitzpatrick. So I'm going to go Matt Fitzpatrick here. At the Heritage. My other vote would be Morikawa. Maybe would be a little bit different, but I think I'm going to be more consistent with Fitzpatrick here. Who's going to be more consistent than Morikawa? Denny, stay hot.
I'm planning to put together a string of victories here. I am going to take Xander. I'm going to win. I'm going to be 2 weeks in a row, and I'm going to leapfrog from 65th all the way up to maybe 39th with that victory. So I'm coming for you, Gray.
I like it. All right. One of our favorite segments, outright winners. We like to do a lot of them. So far, I've hit 2 this year, which is nice. hit back-to-back, Matsuyama and Knapp, but I've kind of cooled off after that. Who are we taking? Let's start with Fitz here, because this is kind of Fitz's thing. Fitz is kind of spread out. We got not a heavy favorite, but a favorite, and then some sleepers. What we got, Fitz?
Yes, we'll start from the top. Denny one time told me over the weekend a star was born in Ludwig Ober. 14-1. I hear what Duke is saying about contending and feeling like you lost the Masters. I feel like Ludwig is kind of like Scottie in the sense I don't even know how to explain it. He put it in the water and he was laughing. He was literally enjoying himself just being there. I think he realizes how good he is compared to these guys and how he's just going to get better. So I love Ludwig. I want to be on him when he does come through. So I'm gonna grab him even at 14-1. Not the best number, but I don't care. Cam Young, I love the way he was playing ball striking. Right, this is the driver is what he's really really great at, which he might not use most here. But I love his iron play, and I think he's gonna set up nicely here. 28-1. Wyndham Clark, not going to quit you just because you missed the cut and couldn't get it done for me. Ruined quite a few matchups and different things. But 35-1, I still think he's just a top 10 golfer, and so I think that number is just a little long for him. He can't miss the cut this week either, so we got that going for him. Great. This is someone that you and I talked about in shop that I was like, how is this guy not getting any love? And it's because he hasn't been playing very well. And then what was he doing to start the Masters? Came out hot. Benny on 66-1. I love that number. I'm gonna be on Benny on, even though he broke my heart. Him and Keegan. So those are gonna be my last two picks. The two guys that stomped on my heart with Grayson Murray in the playoff. Keegan's at 90-1. I just think that's another just good number. I'm not going to be too concerned about it at 90.
I like it. Benny on, man. Benny on can go on a birdie streak. That is for sure. He could go like 5 birdies in a row, but then he'll triple and take himself out of it. That's what he does. But good number on Benny and Keegan. I still can't believe Grayson Murray won a tournament. I just think he's so bad.
No, me neither.
I can't. I still am laughing till this day about you having both Keegan and Benny on and Grayson Murray doing that. Duke, what are your numbers this week? What you got? You got a lot, Duke. You usually don't have this many.
Yeah, no, there's some people I'm going to be sprinkling. I'm going to go hard on Xander at 10-1. I wish I could find him a little steeper than that, to be honest with you. He's the second best odds behind Scottie. I'm going to think about Sahith at 35-1. Put a little thought into that, but then some longer shots. Taylor Moore 60-1. We talked about him plenty. Paven at 71, Shank at 75-1. Those are two guys that really have been in contention of a lot of tournaments this year. And then Malnati at 250-1. I think you realize this man just won a golf tournament, and you're going to give me 250-1. You mean to tell me they play this tournament 250 times? The body doesn't get it done one time. What is Vegas doing?
What Malnati's win, was it this big of were the best players in the world in it?
It was a springboard into his new career. He's now a PGA Tour winner, and he deserves respect.
All right. Well, I hope you're not sprinkling too much on it.
I mean, I think
driblets, just a few.
I mean, Peter Malnati. I gave him the Valspar Championship, and we all know that. When I had that Cam Young ticket, and I refused to sell Keith my Cashmere ticket, split it with him. I had Malnati's fate in my hands, and I take credit for that.
Fitz was like, "There's no way this guy wins," and of course he won because Fitz didn't bet him. Beautiful. Did you mention the other guys? Was I not listening? The other three?
Yeah, I said all of my people. If you're asking me,
sorry,
It's not the best.
We just had a great week of sports. Like we got the NBA playoffs, the play-in tournament going on. We got NHL hockey. I mean, we're breaking Topps Chrome Black, new product. Just a great week in sports for Graybos.
It looks like you can get. Looks like you get Xander 12-1 on MGM.
Ooh,
nice, thank you. That's all I wanted.
I have some similar golfers to I played 4, kind of the mid tier. I'm going in 25 range and up. Obviously, there's some better names, but I wanted Morikawa to be in the 20s. I'm not going to bet him 18-1. I think that's too short. Fitzmagic 25-1. Won it here last year, and he's 25-1. Wyndham Clark, like getting no respect, like Fitz said, he's still 35-1, which is crazy. He's the second best American behind Scottie Scheffler based on President's Cup standings. And this guy's 35-1, and he can win golf tournaments. He's won the U.S. Open. So love that number. Taylor Moore is going to win one, fellas, and he's 60-1. Love this guy. I think he's the next superstar. I mean, maybe not superstar, but next good player like a Zalatoris or something. Cam Young, I'm gonna be on this guy until he wins. He has a good number at 25-1. Likes this course. If he can make some putts, he'll be in contention, I believe. So those are my big 4. Fitzmagic, Wyndham, Cam Young, Taylor Moore. We are all rooting for a lot of the same guys. So I like it. Good juju from the Graybos team this week. The We Riding segment, favorite bets of the week. We did pretty well last week. Willie Z. I had Willie Z plus 145 over Spieth. Big dub, big bet. Cash that one. That was nice to start my weekend. Duke had the Scottie top 5, never a doubt, at plus 110. Easy money. Fitz Neiman, top 20, finished 22nd. So close, but you had a good weekend. But your best bet just outside. I think he had a bad Saturday. I think he went 5 over Saturday. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't think he was, but he didn't really. Yeah, he just needed one. He was one stroke off the T20. Happens.
Yeah. So not there. And I know Booth talked a lot about Tiger Woods making the cut. That was an awesome bet that we were all sweating. Tiger really played well Thursday and Friday in that weather to be 1 over. And then I think Tiger was really just playing for the cut, like to get that record, to beat Fred Couples, 24 consecutive Masters, and then it was just like I'm not going to win, so I'm just going to do it. He finished, yeah, me too. He finished 16 over, his worst Masters score ever. But I was proud of him. I don't know if that was Booth's favorite bet, but I know he loved that bet, so we're going to give him credit.
I'll allow it.
All right. Let's go to We Riding. One of our favorite bets this week. Denny, one time, you have a theme. Your favorite player, your one-and-done player, and then your best bet is the same thing every week. Same guy.
So far, yeah, I like Xander top 10. Pretty much even money at plus 110. He's just really solid. He's the kind of guy that makes a lot of these top 10. So I like this at plus 110 all day.
Mr. Consistent. I like it. Fitz, what's your favorite bet of the week? You love these top 20s. Let's cash.
Always, man. Accuracy over distance. That's what you said earlier in the podcast. Give me Brian Harman top 20 plus 160.
I like it. I like a bounce back for Harman. Tough Friday for Harman. Tough back 9.
Yeah, I think
he shot a 40.
Yeah.
I think he shot a 41 or something crazy. He looked like us, but that weather was nuts. My favorite guy this week is Taylor Moore. Give me Taylor Moore plus money versus Denny McCarthy. Denny can putt. I get it, but I just think Taylor Moore is a better golfer right now. I'm liking it. I feel confident in this matchup. Taylor Moore, let's all ride these bets. Let's go 3-0, Graybos crew, and let's cash. Fellas, anything to add before we get out of here? We're going to have a nice little NBA playoff preview and talk about some cards that we might be selling, holding, or buying this week. But anything else to add about golf or sports in general, or about the shop? Denny, how we feeling?
I'm very excited about the shop opening May 18th. Graybos parlay. Very excited. I'm kind of excited about this golf tournament. I'm still kind of a hangover from the Masters, if I'm being honest. But by the time Sunday gets here, I'll be ready to live bet with Fitzy Baby and lose money somehow, some way.
I will
like it.
show you the way.
I will show you the way. All right, well, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for riding with the Graybos team. Be sure to tune in next time to see how the squad fares. Please make sure you're subscribed, and we'll be honored if you give us a follow and review on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen. Follow us on Fanatics Live. We're breaking 5 nights a week. We're breaking baseball, basketball, football. Pretty much breaking anything that you want. We do personals. We do it all. So just hop in the chat and tell us what you want. Big break Wednesday. That's tomorrow night. Starting at noon all the way into the night, we're breaking Topps Chrome Black 2024 baseball. We got a half a case and a full case. Should be a good time. Thanks for riding with Graybos.
When I go to sleep, I don't see sheep, see dollar signs. $100 got him beat the odds for the 100th time at a money line. Brock Purdy was irrelevant, now I'm at the front like a cutting line. G5 to the power 5, Grade was on fire like it's summertime. I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window?